Welcome to Canada, a land vast enough to cradle both thunder and silence, where mountains were crowns of snow and forests breathe with ancient memory, where lakes lie still as mirrors and cities hum like soft jazz beneath falling snow. Here, the wind speaks a dozen dialects, whistling through the Rockies, sighing over prairie fields, shivering through Arctic tundra, and fluttering flags in bustling city parks. Canada is not a single story. It is 1,000 quiet poems told in pine needles, ocean spray, and cafe windows fogged with warmth. It is the rustle of caribou in morning mist, the hush of snowfall on Parliament Hill, and the boom of water tumbling forever at Niagara's edge. It's maple sweet and winter raw. It's wildflower kindness and granite resolve. It's a canoe slipping silently into dawn. But this isn't just about the sights. It's about the feeling. That low and lovely ache of wonder. That hush in your chest when you stand small before something immeasurably grand. In Canada, you'll find vastness not just in geography, but in the heart of its people. Their easy welcome, their quiet pride, their deep respect for land and story. You'll hear it in the soft bilingual rhythm of hello, bonjour, in the way strangers hold doors open without hurry, and in the sacred breath before a story begins. As you journey through this land, from alpine trails to city streets, from the flicker of northern lights to the sparkle of urban skylines, you'll feel the rhythm of a country that takes its time, that knows how to wait for beauty to arrive on its own terms. Travelers are asked only one thing here: to tread kindly. This is a place of living heritage, of indigenous roots as deep as the rivers are long, of cultures braided like the paths in a mossy forest. Come with your shoes off, metaphorically speaking. Come with eyes open and questions ready. Come with hands warm and hearts softer still. And remember, though this land may be big, your presence in it matters. To the people who call it home, to the wilderness that watches, to the stories still waiting to be told. So take a deep breath. Let the air fill you, pine-touched, salt-kissed, snow-cooled, and step into the journey with reverence. Canada does not rush to reveal herself, but when she does, she leaves a mark like wind across fresh snow. Welcome, traveler. The road begins here. Breathe in. The air here is laced with glacier breath, cold, crisp, clean. Banff is where the mountains don't just rise. They loom like ancient gods carved in slate and snow, casting long shadows across the valley floors. Turquoise lakes gleam like melted sapphires, so still they reflect eternity. Lake Louise, a mirror cradled in stone, whispers softly as the wind slips over her surface. Above, The sky stretches wider than thought, clouds drifting slow and steady, like they, too, are in awe. Here, silence is not empty. It's full of the hush of elk moving through the forest, of distant avalanches rumbling like slow thunder, of footsteps crunching softly along pine-sweet trails. Even the rivers murmur respectfully, curling around rocks with a kind of reverence. Banff is not just seen, it is felt. A weightless ache in the chest, a smallness that comforts rather than frightens. You don't conquer these mountains. You join them, if only for a moment. And for those who come to walk gently in this cathedral of stone, a few quiet suggestions, not rules, but reminders. Tourist tips, dress for the mood of the land, layers for the shifting weather, shoes that can speak with rocks and roots. Even in summer, snow may linger in the high places. Carry warmth with you. The animals here are not attractions, they are neighbors. Keep a respectful distance. A bear seen from afar is a gift. A bear approached is a mistake. Stick to trails, not just for your safety, but for the soft moss and delicate flowers that have grown without your feet for centuries. In town, Banff itself offers gentle hospitality. Restaurants that steam with comfort after a long hike. Shops with handmade mittens and steaming mugs of maple sweet joy. Tipping is customary, around 15 to 20%. Canadian dollars are the currency, but kindness is the true coin of exchange. And speak gently, even when you speak English. Many who work and wander here come from all over the world, drawn like you to the mystery of the mountains. The best moments often happen early. Sunrise turning peaks to gold. Quiet trails before the day's buzz begins. Come early, linger late, closing reflection. In Banff, you do not leave the same as you arrived. Some part of you stays behind, caught in the sweep of the wind over Moraine Lake, or held in the hush between trees. This is not just nature, it is grace carved in stone and light. In Jasper, the wild runs deep. This is a quieter sibling to Banff, more remote, more untamed, a place where silence stretches out and lingers like fog across a mountain meadow. Here, the mountains do not crowd, they breathe. Wider valleys, deeper forests, skies filled with hawks and stormlight. The rivers flow fast, glacial and cold, pulling the memory of ice fields through time. Stand by the Athabasca Falls, watch as water shapes stone, 1,000 years in a single second. Or wander through Maligny Canyon, where the rock has been carved not by force, but by patience. Elk step boldly across roads in the early morning, their antlers like bear trees walking. At night, the sky becomes a cathedral of stars. No city light to mute the cosmic symphony. This is one of the world's largest dark sky preserves, and the Milky Way spills itself across the heavens, as if it belongs to you alone. Tourist tips. Jasper invites you to slow down. There's no need to rush here. Even the trains move deliberately. Bring bear spray, not out of fear but respect. This land belongs to more than just people, and part of traveling kindly means knowing how to share the trail. Public transportation is limited, so driving gives you the freedom to stop where the land speaks. But always pull over safely. Never chase wildlife with your camera. Wear layers. Mornings can feel like winter. Afternoons may warm. And even in summer, the mountains keep a secret chill. Food options in town are fewer, but heartfelt. Try the bison burgers or fresh Alberta trout. Tipping remains standard. Service is often slow but purposeful. Everyone is soaking in the same calm. The people here may speak less, but they smile more. Let your pace match theirs. Closing reflection. In Jasper, something ancient watches from the ridgelines, not threatening, only witnessing. And if you listen, really listen, you might hear yourself beneath the stillness, a quieter self, a wilder self, a self that remembers how to belong to the earth. Vancouver is a city pressed gently between ocean and mountain, where nature leans in close, not as background, but as heartbeat. Here, glass towers rise like crystal reeds beside the sea, their reflections dancing in the harbor's still morning hush. This city doesn't shout. It glides, a place of soft contrasts, steel and cedar, sushi and snowcaps. See fog and sunlight. You can walk from rainforest to rooftop cafe in a single afternoon, the scent of Douglas fir still clinging to your coat as espresso steam curls into the skyline. In Stanley Park, the trees are old enough to remember when this land was only forest. Crows hold court above the seawall. Cyclists slip past like whispers, and the ocean laps endlessly at the edge of it all. Chinatown buzzes with spice and lantern light. Gastown hums with cobblestone cool. Granville Island sings in market voices. Bakers, butchers, violinists. The salt of the days catch still fresh in the air. But beneath the city's polished calm lies something deeper. Attention, a memory. The land remembers. It belonged and still belongs to the Musqueam, Squamish, and Slough-Water peoples. Their stories live in the shorelines and shadow groves. Honor that. Be aware of it. Be gentle here. Tourist tips. Vancouver is casual but conscious. Dress for motion and for weather that shifts without warning. A light rain jacket is more essential than an umbrella. You'll hear many languages on the street. Cantonese, Punjabi, French, Farsi, Tagalog. English is a default. But kindness is spoken fluently in every tongue. Thank you goes far. Excuse me, even farther. Tap your credit card on public transit. It's fast, clean, and simple. The Skitran hums above the city like a ribbon of ease. Food is diverse and remarkable. Try Japadogs on go, or linger over fresh sashimi and dim sum. Tipping is expected, around 15 to 20%. Vegetarians rejoice. Dietary choices are well respected here. Cannabis is legal but used discreetly. As with many things in Vancouver, the rule is quiet respect. Safety isn't loud either. Stay aware but not afraid. Even the city's few rough edges are softened by compassion. And if the mountains call, answer them. Just minutes outside the city, grouse, cypress, and Seymour rise like sleeping giants, inviting you to see Vancouver from the sky. Closing reflection. Vancouver is a place where city and spirit intertwine, where the edge of the continent holds not an ending, but a beginning, a place where you can lose yourself in fog and find yourself again in the curve of the coast. Stay as long as you can. Leave before you're ready. That's how you know you've truly arrived. Niagara isn't a place you visit. It's a force you stand before. From a distance, the roar is a low, steady growl, a heartbeat of water that builds as you approach. And then there it is, a wall of liquid thunder pouring from the sky, veils of mist rising like breath from the earth. It's not just sight and sound, it's sensation, the trembling of the railing beneath your hands, the kiss of mist on your cheeks, the feeling that the world has cracked open and let its soul spill forward in white. Horseshoe Falls bends in a perfect arc, ferocious and elegant all at once. Rainbows rise like prayers in the morning light, brief and holy. Tour boats bob like tiny toys at the base, daring closer, and those who board them return soaked and silent, as if they've seen something sacred. But beyond the spectacle, the town itself waits. Bright lights, tourist bustle, and cotton candy air. It can feel like a carnival, but step a few blocks away, and quiet parks whisper a different kind of magic. Tourist tips. If you plan to get close to the falls, and you should, bring waterproof everything. Shoes, jackets, even spirit. The mist spares no one, and that's part of the charm. The boats. Hornblower on the Canadian side. Offer the best perspective. Down low, up close, heart racing. But book early in peak season. Crowds are a certainty. The best views? Table Rock for drama. Skylon Tower for the sweep. And at night, when the falls glow with colored lights, go for stillness, not selfies. Canadian currency is used here, and tipping follows a national rhythm. 15 to 20%. Plenty of vendors accept cards, but carry a bit of cash for small purchases near the park. Niagara straddles the U.S. border, but stay on the Canadian side if you want grandeur. The view is fuller. The air feels more like reverence. Closing reflection. Niagara reminds you that nature can be both overwhelming and ordered, that something so loud can also be beautiful. That falling isn't always about breaking. Sometimes it's about becoming part of something vast and eternal. Let the mist kiss your skin. Let the sound fill your bones. And leave a piece of yourself behind. Carry it in the current toward the sea. Quebec City feels like a story you've wandered into by mistake. A dream in stone and snow, where cobbled streets curl like ribbons beneath castle walls, and French whispers float through the winter air. It is old, proudly so. You can feel it in the creak of wooden shutters, the golden light spilling from tiny cafes, and the way the St. Lawrence River sighs below the cliffside, a constant companion to this city of memory. Fairmont-le-Château-Frontenac crowns the skyline like a myth, its spires rising through frost and fog. At night it glows, not just from light, but from the stories it holds, a beacon for travelers, lovers, and lost souls alike. Wander through old Quebec and time softens. Horse-drawn, carriages clatter past stone churches. Warm bread perfumes the cold air. Artists paint by the roadside, even in winter gloves. Everything feels closer here. The history, the people, the sky. In summer, music floats from balconies. In winter, the carnival fills the streets with ice and laughter. There's always celebration, but never hurry. Tourist tips. French is the language of the city, and though most speak English too, a simple bonjour or merci is met with real warmth. Kindness is the passport here. Dress for the season, especially in winter. Layers, scarves, boots that mean business. The wind off the river can cut through bone, but a steaming mug of chocolate chawed cures most chills. Getting around is easy on foot, though the hills will test your legs. Public buses are clean and efficient, and the funicular offers a charming lift between upper and lower town. Try poutine, but go beyond the basics. Duck confit, wild mushrooms, smoked meat. Quebec elevates comfort food into poetry. Restaurants may linger between courses. This is by design. Dine slowly. Taste fully. Tipping, as always, is 15 to 20%. Look for local crafts. Wool mittens hand-knitted by someone's grandmother. Maple syrup in tiny glass bottles shaped like leaves. Wooden toys that seem to remember laughter. Respect is subtle here. Walk gently through old cathedrals. Don't climb where signs say not to. And remember, this is a theme park. It's a home. Closing reflection. Quebec City teaches you that beauty doesn't need to shout. It lives in the quiet curve of a street lamp, in the warmth of bread in cold hands, in the echo of footsteps on ancient stones. You leave not as a tourist, but as someone who wandered through a living poem and was changed by the rhythm. Whistler rises from the forest like a secret kept by the mountains, a place where snow whispers and wheels turn. where gravity becomes a playground and silence holds its breath above the tree-line. In winter, it gleams, a village laced with frost, where skiers carve silver ribbons down black velvet slopes. The air smells of pine and firewood, and boots crunch across the paths like percussion. But Whistler is not only snow. Come summer, the trails bloom with wildflowers, and mountain bikes hum like bees along dusty switchbacks. Lakes shimmer in alpine bowls, cold enough to shock, clear enough to see the sky twice. This is not just a resort, it's rhythm of movement and stillness, of peaks and valleys, of adrenaline and awe. Village life pulses gently, cafes steaming with espresso and ski gossip, art galleries glowing with the colors of this land. You don't need to be an athlete to belong here. You only need to look up. Tourist tips. Whistler moves with the seasons, so plan with nature in mind. In winter, book early, layer well, and pack patience. The lifts may be busy, but the slopes reward. Base layers, goggles, good gloves. These are not extras, they're essentials. In summer, sunscreen, hiking shoes, and curiosity. Trails abound for all levels, and each turn holds something sacred. But always check conditions. Nature doesn't follow our calendar. Public transit within the village is free and reliable. You can walk most places, and should. There's magic in wandering here. Dining is diverse, but leans upscale. Try the game meats, elk, bison, or the local salmon. And après-ski culture isn't just about drinks. It's a celebration of tired muscles and shared stories. Prices reflect the popularity. This is not a bargain destination, but it rewards every cent. Tipping is standard, 15 to 20%. And remember, service may be relaxed, but never careless. Respect trail closures. Wildlife isn't part of the show, it's home here. Keep your distance. Keep your food sealed. Keep your presence humble. Closing reflection. Whistler is a dance between wild and refined. A reminder that the world is taller than we remember, and that joy can live both in motion and in the hush between footsteps. Here, you touch the sky and feel it gently touch you back. Prince Edward Island is a whisper off the Atlantic coast, a gentle curve of red sand and green fields, where the wind smells of salt and sweet grass, and time moves slower, like a tide between heartbeats. This is a place of softness, of lighthouses that blink through morning mist, of cottages tucked behind dunes, of warm, rolling hills stitched with potatoes and lupins. The roads are not in a rush. They meander like thoughts on a quiet evening walk, and the island breathes with stories of fishermen rising before dawn, of and with her red braids, of families gathered around lobster feasts under open skies. The beaches stretch wide and kind, the sand glowing rust red against turquoise surf. At sunset, the horizon holds the sun like a lullaby. Everything here feels like a memory waiting to happen. Tourist tips. Island life is relaxed. Lean into it. Greet locals with warmth. They'll return it tenfold. Dress casually, but be ready for change. Even summer breezes can carry a chill from the ocean. Layers are your ally. Try the seafood. Freshly shucked oysters, mussels steamed in garlic, lobster rolls cradled in soft buns. This is not just food, it's heritage. Bikes are a beautiful way to see the island. The Confederation Trail runs like a gentle thread across it. Ride slowly, pause often. PI uses Canadian dollars, and tipping is standard. Cash is useful in smaller towns. Respect coastal erosion. The cliffs are beautiful, but fragile. Tread lightly, literally and metaphorically. Visit in summer for vibrancy, autumn for peace, and always with a willingness to let go of hurry. Closing reflection. Prince Edward Island teaches you to soften, to listen, to waves, to wind, to your own unhurried breath. To find wonder in small things, a seashell, a berry, a handwritten sign. You come here to escape the world and leave having re-met yourself. Grow Morn is not quiet. It is silent, a vast, aching stillness carved by glaciers, where cliffs rise like forgotten thoughts, and fjords mirror the sky without a ripple. The land here is ancient, raw. Its tablelands glow amber and gold. Their surface barren, almost lunar, a glimpse into the earth's exposed heart. Hike up to the summit, and the world drops away in slow revelation. Green valleys stitched with rivers, shadows gliding over rock like passing dreams. There are places where the wind speaks, and others where it waits, watching as you pass in reverence. Waterfall trails whisper, and in the stillness of 10 Mile Pond, you might forget language altogether. Tourist tips: come ready to walk. Sturdy boots, layered clothing, and a heart for effort. Weather can shift without apology. The tablelands are a must, a place where the earth has turned itself inside out. But stay on the paths. The ecosystem is delicate. Wildlife here is wild in truth. Moose, bears, and foxes are not stories. They're neighbors. Observe from a distance and respect their space. There's little cell reception, but plenty of connection to land, to sky, to silence. Local guides offer insight, and small-town hospitality nearby brings comfort after vastness. Closing reflection: Grow Morn doesn't entertain, it humbles. It invites you to walk slowly, listen deeply, and remember that the world is older, quieter, and more magnificent than we often allow. Montreal moves like jazz. It pulses, not in a rush, but in rhythm, a blend of old stone and neon, where church bells echo down graffiti-tagged alleys, and the scent of espresso follows you into the night. It is a city of layers, of cathedrals and comedy clubs, bagels and smoked meat, French and English, dancing, not competing. Cobblestone streets curl through old Montreal, where horse hooves still strike the stones, and gas lamps flicker like ghosts. Above, Mount Royal watches quietly. Climb it early and you'll see the city breathe. Spires, skylines, and that wide St. Lawrence stretch, calm and silver in morning light. Wander and you'll find music, always. A violinist by the metro stairs, a DJ in a park, a band in a bar, so tiny it barely holds its own heartbeat. But Montreal isn't loud. It's alive. And if you listen, really listen, you'll hear how the city sighs between languages. Tourist tips: French is the soul of Montreal. Most people speak both French and English, but starting with a bonjour is more than polite. It's a key. Locals will smile wider when you try. Public transit is reliable and affordable. The metro snakes beneath the city like a well-kept secret. Buy a multi-day pass and explore without worry. Montreal's neighborhoods are like moods. Loup Plateau is artistic and lively. Old Montreal is grand and historical. Mile End is quirky and delicious. Let your feet lead you. The best discoveries aren't planned. Food here isn't suggestion. It's a religion. Try the bagels, not like New York's, but no less proud. Poutine, of course. Fries, gravy, cheese curds. But seek the smoky ones with brisket or pulled pork. Don't skip Portuguese chicken or the fresh market strawberries in summer. Tipping is standard, 15 to 20%, and service may be slower, but it's thoughtful. Dine like you're part of conversation, not a transaction. Dress for contrast. Winters are serious, boots, coats, scarves that mean it. Summers are sun-drenched and alive. Expect festivals, patios, music in the air. Be mindful in sacred spaces. Notre Dame Basilica is not just architecture, it's reverence. Silence carries weight. Closing reflection. Montreal teaches you how to exist in between languages, between traditions, between beats. It doesn't ask you to choose a version of yourself. It simply opens its arms and lets you move to your own rhythm. Leave with a verse in your step, a taste still on your tongue, and the sense that somewhere in this patchwork of stone and sound, you found your place. Toronto rises from the lake like a promise of possibility, of pulse, of people layered like the skyline itself. It's not a city that begs to be seen, but one that rewards attention. A mosaic of languages, cultures, colors, stacked high and humming with quiet pride. Streetcars hum through neighborhoods that feel like worlds unto themselves. Kensington's painted walls, Greek town's back of a warmth, Chinatown's lantern-lit bustle. The city speaks in many tongues, and all are welcome. At its heart stands a CN Tower, needle-pointed and still, a lighthouse over glass and movement. Below it, people flow, not rushed, but determined, not loud, but full. The waterfront glitters in late afternoon light, boats rocking gently like thoughts at rest. And in the pockets between skyscrapers, you find the unexpected. A jazz trio on Queen Street, a secondhand bookstore that smells like paper and rain, a cafe where time forgets to tick, tourist tips. Toronto is vast, but its transit system stitches it together. Grab a Presto card and glide between subway, streetcar, and bus. It's clean, dependable, and covers more than you'd guess. This is a walking city, especially downtown, where comfortable shoes and let curiosity be your compass. Cultural respect matters. Toronto thrives because of its diversity, from Little India to Koreatown, from Jamaican bakeries to Ukrainian delis. Engage gently, eat generously, listen more than you speak. Dining ranges from high-rise glamour to food truck gold. Try pea meal bacon sandwiches at St. Lawrence Market, or dumplings so fresh they steam your fingers. Tipping is standard, 15 to 20%. Tap cards are widely accepted, but a few coins for small vendors can help. In summer, the city buzzes with festivals, patios, open-air cinema. In winter, bundle up. Ice skating at Nathan Phillips Square is a ritual joy. Visit museums, the ROM, the AGO, but don't forget the smaller spaces. The galleries hidden up narrow stairwells, where local voices echo on white walls. Closing reflection. Toronto doesn't need to shout. It grows on you, slowly, certainly, like a song that finds your rhythm, or a stranger who feels familiar. And as you leave, you'll carry with you the quiet beauty of connection, to stories, to strangers, to a city that lets you belong, without asking you to change. Mont Tremblant rises like a gentle giant, its peaks cradling a village that feels both alpine and alive. The air smells of pine and promise, where mornings greet you with the crisp clarity of mountain streams, and evenings fold into soft whispers of firelight. This place is a refuge, a pause between the rush of the world and the calm of the forest. Skiers carve white paths in winter, while summer draws hikers and cyclists. to trails that wind through wildflowers and sun-dappled glades. The village itself is a storybook, with colorful rooftops and cobblestone streets, cafes that invite lingering over rich coffee, and shops filled with treasures both local and timeless. Here, life is measured in breath and step, in the slow unfolding of seasons, and the gentle hum of nature. Tourist tips: dress in layers, mountain weather shifts swiftly. Good hiking boots or sturdy shoes are a must, whether winter or summer. The ski slopes are well maintained, but beginners should consider lessons to truly savor the experience. Summer offers biking and hiking. The panoramic views from the trails reward every effort. Public transport is limited. A rental car or shuttle service is the easiest way to reach and explore. Try the local cuisine, hearty and comforting. Maple syrup isn't just a topping here. It's a way of life. Respect the trails and wildlife. Pack out what you bring in and tread lightly to preserve this fragile beauty. Closing reflection. Mont Tremblant teaches you the art of slow joy, the beauty of moments held softly, and the quiet strength of mountains that watch over the restless heart. You leave feeling cradled, ready to carry a piece of its calm wherever you go. The Okanagan Valley stretches wide under an endless sky, a land where vineyards ripple like waves, and orchards bloom with the soft blush of fruit. Here, the air tastes sweet with promise of sun-drenched afternoons and quiet evenings beside the lake. This valley is a melody of seasons. Summer's warmth coaxing grapes to ripen, autumn's gold spilling across hills, and winter's hush settling softly over the earth. The shimmering waters of Okanagan Lake invite reflection, mirroring the blue vastness above and the scattered sailboats below. Small towns nestle among rolling hills, where friendly faces greet with genuine smiles, and farm stands offer cherries still warm from the sun. The landscape invites slow wandering, a bicycle ride through orchards, a stroll along quiet shorelines, or a pause at a vineyard tasting room, where stories pour as freely as the wine. Tourist tips. Okanagan's charm is best savored at a gentle pace. Rent a car to explore widely, but take time to stop. Every vineyard, every lake view, every orchard deserves a moment. Summers are warm. Light layers and sun protection are essential. Winters can be crisp and quiet, a time for cozy fires and hearty meals. Taste local wines, not just for flavor, but for the craft and care poured into every bottle. Farmers' markets overflow with fresh produce. Try the peaches and cherries while they last. Respect private property. Many vineyards welcome visitors, but ask before wandering off marked paths. Currency is Canadian dollars, and tipping is customary around 15%. Language is primarily English, with friendly and open tone everywhere. Closing reflection. In the Okanagan Valley, life flows like wine, rich, patient, and full of quiet pleasures. Here, the earth and sky meet in a soft embrace, inviting you to sip slowly and savor the sweetness of being. Ottawa is a city of quiet dignity, where history and modern life weave together like threads of silk. It's a place where the Rideau Canal glistens under winter's frost, and Parliament's Gothic spires reach toward the sky with timeless purpose and gentle grace. The air carries the hum of thoughtful conversations, murmurs of policy and poetry blending seamlessly. Museums stand proud. The National Gallery, the Canadian Museum of History, offering portals to the stories that shape a nation's heart. In summer, the city blooms with festivals and music, the streets alive with laughter and light. Bicycles glide along tree-lined paths, and patios spill with a sense of fresh herbs and roasted coffee. Ottawa's neighborhoods each tell a story. Bywood Market buzzes with colors and tastes, while Glebe offers leafy calm and quiet cafes. Every corner feels welcoming, a space where culture is a shared treasure, not a divide. Tourist tips. Ottawa's weather can shift quickly. Layered clothing is your best companion, especially near the water. Public transit is efficient. Buses and the O train make getting around simple. Visit Parliament Hill for tours. Arrive early to catch the changing of the guard ceremony. Try local specialties. Beaver tails are sweet treats best enjoyed fresh and warm. Respect the rules around photography in government buildings. Currency is Canadian dollars. Tipping 15 to 20% is customary in restaurants and taxis. English and French are both spoken here. A simple bonjour is appreciated. The Rideau Canal is a must-see. Skate in winter, stroll, or bike in summer. Stay alert for cyclists on shared paths and sidewalks. Closing reflection. Ottawa whispers stories of unity, a city that holds its past tenderly while embracing the future. In its calm rhythms, you find a quiet strength, a reminder that sometimes grace is the loudest voice of all. Halifax breathes with the salty pulse of the Atlantic, its harbor cradling ships like memories waiting to be told. This city wears its history with quiet pride, from cobblestone streets that echo with footsteps of sailors, to the lighthouses standing steadfast against the wind's relentless call. In the morning, the air carries the briny scent of the sea, mix of the warmth of fresh-baked bread and brewing coffee. Fishermen unload the day's catch while seagulls wheel above, and the harbor hums softly with life. Halifax is a city that invites wandering through the historic waterfront, where artisan shops and cozy cafes beckon, or to the public gardens, a green sanctuary alive with blooms and birdsong. Music flows freely here, from the soft strum of guitars in intimate pubs to the lively beats of Celtic reels that call feet to dance. The spirit of community is palpable, woven into every festival, every shared meal, every greeting. Tourist tips. Weather can be unpredictable. Layers and rain gear are wise companions. Halifax's compact downtown is easily explored on foot, but local buses and ferries offer charming alternatives. Try the seafood, lobster, scallops, and Digby clams are regional treasures. Respect local fishing traditions and marine protected areas. Tipping is customary at 15 to 20%, and cash or card is widely accepted. Learn a few phrases like thank you and please to warm local hearts. Summer brings festivals. The Halifax Jazz Festival is a highlight. Be mindful of tides and harbor regulations when near the water. Closing reflection. Halifax sings a song of resilience and warmth, where the sea meets the soul in endless conversation. Here, the past is a gentle companion, and every sunset promises a new story waiting to unfold. St. John's rises on the edge of the Atlantic like a splash of color, bright houses clinging to steep hills, fog rolling in like a soft whisper over the harbor. It's a city that wears its weather boldly, where salty air mingles with stories old and new. The streets curve and climb with a sailor's rhythm, each corner revealing a song, a laugh, a memory. The scent of fresh fish markets blends with the warmth of cozy pubs, where locals gather to share tales and tunes late into the night. Signal Hill watches over it all, its rugged cliffs a reminder of endurance and hope. Tourist tips: dress warmly and in layers. Fog and wind come quickly. Walk the historic downtown carefully. Cobblestones can be slippery when wet. Try the traditional Newfoundland dishes: Teutons, fish and brews, and moose stew. Respect local fishing practices and marine life conservation areas. Public transport is limited. Renting a car is best for exploring beyond the city. Tipping is customary, about 15 to 20%. Learn a few local phrases. Newfoundlanders are famously friendly and will appreciate the effort. Keep an eye on the weather forecast. Conditions can change suddenly. Closing reflection: St. John's is a place of heart and sea, where every breeze carries a story, and every street hums with life. Leaving here, you carry with you the taste of salt air and the warmth of a community that welcomes you like family. Tofino is where the wild meets the calm, the Pacific Ocean crashing against ancient shores, and the rainforest standing tall and silent like a sentinel. Misty mornings blend into afternoons of endless sky, where eagles wheel overhead and waves sing a timeless song. This is a place of raw beauty and quiet reflection, where the air tastes of salt and cedar, and the horizon stretches far beyond what the eye can see. Tourist tips: weather here is ever-changing. Pack rain gear in warm layers. Respect the indigenous lands and cultures that define this region. Surfing is popular but best for the experienced. Beginners should seek lessons. Local seafood is fresh and abundant. Try the spot prawns and wild salmon. Transportation is mostly by car. Driving carefully on winding coastal roads is essential. Tipping around 15% is customary in restaurants. Wildlife watching is a must, but maintain distance and never feed animals. Closing reflection: Tofino teaches the beauty of contrasts, the fierce and the gentle, the storm and the stillness. It leaves you feeling both humbled and alive, touched by the pulse of the wild Pacific. Kelowna glows warmly in the Okanagan sun, nestled beside a lake that mirrors blue skies and soft clouds. Vineyards stretch across gentle hills, each row a story of patience and care. The air carries the scent of ripening fruit, mingled with the crispness of mountain breezes. It's a place where time slows, where mornings begin with quiet walks by the water, and evenings unfold over glasses of carefully crafted wine. The city hums with gentle energy, farmers' markets brimming with fresh produce, and cafes inviting moments of pause and reflection. Tourist tips: Kelowna is best explored by car or bike, giving you freedom to wander vineyards, orchards, and lakeside trails. Summer can be warm. Light clothing and sun protection are musts. Local wines are exceptional. Don't miss a tasting session or two. Respect private vineyards by staying on marked paths and asking before tours. Tipping 15 to 20% is customary in restaurants and for services. The region's farmers markets offer fresh, seasonal treats. Try cherries and peaches. Keep hydrated and carry water on outdoor excursions. Seasonal festivals celebrate the harvest and local culture. Check calendars in advance. Closing reflection. Kelowna is a quiet celebration of Earth's gifts, a place where nature's rhythms and human hands meet in harmony. Leaving here, you carry the taste of sun-warmed fruit and the gentle calm of lakeside days. Revelstoke stands proud among towering peaks, a rugged jewel carved by glaciers in time. The air is crisp and alive, carrying the scent of pine and earth, and the distant echo of rushing rivers. This town is a gateway to adventure, where snow blankets the slopes in winter, and wildflowers carpet the meadows in summer. The railway that once tamed the land now hums softly in the background, a reminder of human spirit intertwined with nature's grandeur. Revelstoke's charm lies in its balance, a place where thrill and tranquility coexist, where the pace of life is set by mountain winds and starlit nights. Tourist tips: bring sturdy footwear and layered clothing. Weather can shift quickly. Winter visitors should be prepared for deep snow and cold temperatures. Summer offers hiking, mountain biking, and river rafting. Guides can enhance your safety and enjoyment. Local shops and cafes welcome guests warmly. Tipping 15 to 20% is customary. Respect wildlife and keep to marked trails to preserve the fragile environment. Transportation is easiest by car. Roads can be narrow and winding. Stay aware of avalanche warnings during winter months. Closing reflection. Revelstoke teaches you to listen closely to the whisper of trees, the roar of rivers, and the steady heartbeat of mountains that never rush. Parliament Hill rises like a crown over Ottawa's gentle skyline, its Gothic spires reaching toward the heavens with quiet majesty. The stone walls hold stories carved by time, debates, dreams, and the enduring pulse of a nation's heart. Walking the grounds, you sense a living history, the fluttering flags, the echo of footsteps on ancient steps, and the soft murmur of the nearby Rideau Canal weaving through the city. In spring and summer, the gardens bloom with vibrant colors, inviting quiet moments beneath the watchful gaze of statues and monuments. The changing of the guard ceremony draws crowds, a dance of precision and tradition that connects past and present. Evenings bring a soft glow when the buildings are lit against the darkening sky, casting long shadows filled with reverence and hope. Tourist tips. Tours are available daily, often free, but booking ahead is wise in busy seasons. Arrive early to enjoy the changing of the guard. It begins in late June through August. Respect security protocols and photography restrictions inside buildings. Wear comfortable shoes. The grounds are expansive and best explored on foot. Public transit is efficient. Buses and the O-Train connect easily. Tipping is not necessary for tours, but appreciated in nearby cafes and restaurants. Language is bilingual. English and French. Simple greetings in either are warmly received. Seasonal weather varies. Layered clothing recommended year-round. Closing reflection. Parliament Hill stands as a quiet guardian, a place where voices unite and histories converge. It invites you to witness the spirit of a nation and to carry its resilience gently within your own story. Nova Scotia unfolds like a watercolor painting, soft blue shores meeting rugged cliffs, and forests whispering secrets to the Atlantic winds. This province is a place where the sea and land converse, in rhythms both ancient and enduring. Small fishing villages scatter the coastline, their colorful houses leaning close against the salt-kissed air. The scent of fresh seafood mingles with pine and wildflowers, while lighthouses stand like sentinels, guiding wayfarers through mist and storm. The echoes of Gaelic songs float from cozy pubs, where stories and laughter flow as freely as the local rum. In the highlands and valleys, trails wind through forests of birch and spruce, leading to hidden waterfalls and quiet coves. Here, time seems to pause, inviting visitors to breathe deeply and listen closely. Tourist tips. Weather changes quickly. Bring layers and waterproof gear. Driving is the best way to explore. Roads can be narrow and winding. Respect local customs, especially in small communities. Kindness and patience go far. Sample seafood delicacies like lobster, scallops, and Digby clams, fresh and abundant. Tipping 15 to 20% is standard in restaurants and taxis. English is predominant. A friendly greeting opens many doors. Be mindful of tides and coastal safety, especially when exploring beaches or cliffs. Summer is festival season. Check local calendars for music and cultural events. Keep a respectful distance from wildlife and follow park guidelines. Closing reflection. Nova Scotia feels like a song sung softly to the soul, a place where earth and ocean meet in endless conversation. Here, you carry the music of the waves and the gentle strength of a land shaped by time and tide. Stanley Park is a living mosaic of ancient forests and urban calm, a sanctuary where towering cedars and Douglas firs reach skyward, their branches whispering stories of centuries past. Walking its winding trails, you feel the pulse of nature intertwined with the city's heartbeat. The seawall curves gently around the park's edge, offering panoramic views of sparkling waters and distant mountains. Seagulls wheel overhead, their cries mingling with the laughter of children and the soft splash of kayaks. Totem poles stand proudly near the park entrance, vivid symbols of indigenous heritage and artistry, inviting respect and reflection. The park hums with life. Joggers, cyclists, families, and artists all find their place here. Each step a quiet celebration of balance between wild and cultivated beauty. Tourist tips. Stanley Park is best explored on foot or bike. Rentals are widely available. Respect the natural habitat. Stay on designated trails and don't feed wildlife. The Lost Lagoon offers peaceful moments for birdwatching. Check the weather. Coastal rains can arrive suddenly. Waterproof gear is recommended. Tipping 15 to 20% is customary in nearby cafes and restaurants. Learn a few words about local indigenous cultures. Respectful curiosity is welcomed. Be mindful of park rules, especially around sensitive ecological areas. The park is open year-round, each season revealing a different facet of its charm. Closing reflection. In Stanley Park, nature and city dance a gentle waltz, reminding us that even in bustling places, there is space for quiet awe and reverence. Here, you leave with a heart both calm and enlivened, carrying a piece of the forest's timeless spirit. The Rideau Canal weaves through Ottawa like a shimmering ribbon of history and life, its waters reflecting the sky's changing moods. From serene blues to the fiery hues of autumn leaves, built with quiet determination, it stands as a testament to human ingenuity and the harmony possible between nature and craft. In summer, boats drift lazily along the canal's course, their wakes barely disturbing the stillness. Families picnic along its banks, children's laughter mingling with the gentle lapping of water against stone walls. In winter, the canal transforms into the world's largest skating rink, where skaters glide under the crisp air and twinkling lights, their breath visible in the cold as joy fills the frozen expanse. The towpaths invite walkers, joggers, and cyclists, each step a meditation on time's flow and the stories carried by these waters. The canal's locks and bridges tell tales of trade, travel, and community, where past and present intertwine seamlessly. Tourist tips. The canal is easily accessible from downtown Ottawa, with multiple entry points for pedestrians and cyclists. Boat tours are available in the warmer months, offering unique perspectives. Dress in layers year-round. Summers can be warm, winters are cold and snowy. Rent skates or bring your own for the winter season, and be mindful of rink safety. Tipping 15 to 20% is customary in nearby eateries and tour services. Respect local wildlife, and keep the banks clean to preserve the canal's beauty. Watch for seasonal events like the Tulip Festival and Winterlude. Public transit connects well to the canal area. Closing reflection. The Rideau Canal flows as a living thread through Ottawa's heart, a place where history glides alongside everyday life. It teaches us about patience, change, and the quiet joy found in simple moments, a reminder that beauty often lies in the journey itself. Algonquin breathes with ancient forest life, its towering pines and maples stretching skyward like silent sentinels. The rustle of leaves and call of loons echo across tranquil lakes, creating a symphony that calms the restless heart. This park is a sanctuary for those seeking solitude and wonder, where trails weave through mossy grounds and sunlight dapples the forest floor. Canoes glide silently over glassy waters, reflecting clouds and trees in perfect harmony. Wildlife is abundant yet elusive. Moose stand quietly at dawn, beavers shape waterways, and the shy fox darts through underbrush. Each season paints Algonquin in new hues. Spring bursts with fresh greens, autumn blazes with fiery reds, and winter hushes the land beneath snow's soft blanket. Tourist tips: bring sturdy hiking boots and insect repellent, especially in warmer months. Practice leave no trace, principles to protect fragile ecosystems. Canoe rentals are available. Take lessons if you're new to paddling. Be aware of wildlife and maintain respectful distances. Camping permits are required and should be booked well in advance. Self-service is limited. Prepare accordingly. Dress in layers and check weather forecasts. Conditions change rapidly. Carry bear spray and know how to use it if hiking in remote areas. Closing reflection. Algonquin whispers of timeless rhythms. A place where nature's quiet strength invites reflection. Here, you leave behind the noise of the world, carrying instead the peaceful pulse of the forest and water, etched gently into memory. Abraham Lake lies like a glass mirror in the Rockies' embrace, its icy surface capturing the sky's vastness and the rugged peaks that guard it. In winter, the lake reveals a hidden wonder, bubbles trapped beneath the ice, frozen in silent time. A mesmerizing dance of nature's secrets pause beneath the surface. The cold air is sharp and clear, carrying the faint scent of pine and snow. Surrounding forests stand still and watchful, their reflections etched perfectly into the lake's tranquil depths. Visitors come seeking this quiet spectacle, drawn by the lake's ethereal beauty and the peaceful hush of the mountains. Tourist tips: winter conditions could be extreme. Dress warmly in layers, including insulated boots and gloves. Access roads may be icy. Drive carefully and check conditions ahead. Guided tours can provide safe access and deeper insight into the area's geology and ecology. Photography is popular here. Bring equipment protected against cold. Respect a fragile environment. Avoid walking on thin ice or disturbing the natural formations. Camping nearby requires permits. Facilities are limited and weather-dependent. Self-service is sparse. Prepare for limited connectivity. Best visited between December and March to witness the frozen bubbles phenomenon. Closing reflection. Abraham Lake is a frozen poem, a place where time pauses beneath ice and sky. It teaches quiet patience and wonder, inviting us to see the unseen and hold still moments close, etched like frost upon the soul. Yoho breathes with a wild, untamed spirit, where waterfalls cascade in silver ribbons down rugged cliffs, and emerald lakes rest like jewels amid ancient forests. The air is crisp and fragrant, filled with the whispers of cedar and spruce, and the distant call of eagles soaring high above. Each step along the trails reveals nature's artistry. Rock formations carved by time, mossy groves soft underfoot, and hidden grottos where sunlight dances on crystal waters. The park is a sanctuary for explorers seeking both adventure and quiet reflection, a place where mountain peaks touch the sky and valleys cradle peace. Tourist tips: wear sturdy hiking shoes. Trails vary from easy strolls to challenging climbs. Carry water and snacks. Facilities are limited in backcountry areas. Respect wildlife by observing from a distance and not feeding animals. Check trail conditions and weather before setting out. Mountain weather changes rapidly. Leave no trace to preserve the park's fragile beauty. Guided tours are available and can enhance your experience with local knowledge. Self-service is spotty. Prepare accordingly. Seasonal access varies. Some roads and trails close in winter. Tipping is appreciated in visitor centers and guided services. Closing reflection. Yoho invites you to stand quietly amid its grandeur, to feel the pulse of earth shaped by eons, and to carry home the serenity found where water sings and mountains stand steadfast. Shannon Falls tumbles down rugged cliffs, a silver curtain spilling into the emerald forest below. The roar of rushing water fills the air, mingling with the crisp scent of cedar and damp earth. Mist dances lightly around moss-covered rocks, cooling your skin and awakening your senses. The trail to the falls is short but alive with life. Ferns unfurling, birds singing overhead, and the occasional glimpse of deer moving quietly through the trees. Visitors are drawn by the fall's timeless beauty, a place to pause, breathe deeply, and witness nature's power and grace. Tourist tips: the walk to the falls is family-friendly and accessible year-round. Wear sturdy shoes. Paths can be slippery after rain. Arrive early or late in the day to avoid crowds, especially on weekends. Parking is limited. Carpooling or public transit is recommended. Respect wildlife and keep noise to a minimum to preserve tranquility. There are picnic areas nearby, perfect for a gentle rest after the walk. Tipping isn't necessary, but local vendors appreciate kindness. Seasonal changes bring different moods. Autumn colors and spring blossoms both enchant. Closing reflection. Shannon Falls is a breath of wildness in the everyday, a reminder of water's endless journey and the quiet strength found in its flow. Here, you find a moment of peace, carried home like a whispered secret. As our journey through this vast and varied land draws to a close, we carry with us the stories whispered by mountains, lakes, and ancient forests. Canada reveals itself not just in places, but in moments. The quiet dawn over Abraham Lake, the bustling heart of Parliament Hill, the song of waves against Nova Scotia's shores, and the soft rustle of leaves in Algonquin's timeless woods. Each destination has offered a window into a deeper truth of resilience, beauty, and the enduring dance between humanity and nature. We have walked gentle trails and crossed shimmering canals, felt the spray of waterfalls and the hush of winter ice, and met the spirit of a country vast and inviting. May this journey inspire your own path, to tread with curiosity, respect, and an open heart, to listen to the land's quiet voice, to honor its stories, and to return with memories etched softly into your soul. Canada is more than a map. It is a mosaic of experience, woven from the threads of every river, mountain, and smile encountered. It teaches us that travel is not just about the sights seen, but the feelings awakened and the connections made. Thank you for walking alongside this truthful traveler. May your travels be gentle, your stories honest, and your hearts ever open to the beauty waiting just beyond the horizon.